the Washington Commanders, who are back at home, in which they're undefeated 3-0 in the new Northwest Stadium to take on the Chicago Bears Sunday at 4:25. We welcome in Michael Phillips right now from MP on the mic. What's going on, Michael?
Hey, feeling good. How about you?
I'm feeling good. I'd give up my rib for Jayden Daniels.
We'd all do it.
Right?
Right now. Just take it out. I don't need it.
Now, I did see that they served ribs at the game. How funny is that, right?
The irony of serving ribs at halftime of the game. Maybe there will be a surge in rib sales on Sunday across the DMV. Get some baby back ribs. Want my baby back ribs? Oh, I want my quarterback to have functioning ribs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Simple request.
So let me start with this. Michael, what does week to week mean in your mind?
Yeah, it means that they really want to go. He really wants to go. They really want him to go. It's a big game. It's a big moment for him. But they also know there could be compelling reasons for him not to play this week, right? It doesn't rule him out for this week, but I think it starts from a presumption of he's going to have to show us something to be able to play this weekend. Day to day, you start with, we assume he'll play Sunday. And if we see something, we'll back off of it. Week to week to me says, we assume he's not playing Sunday, and if he impresses us Thursday and Friday at practice, we'll reconsider.
Michael, you already know I'm a homer, but I'm going to say it right now. I still give my team a chance to win with Marcus Mariota. The way he moved the ball when he came in there was spectacular. I mean, it was a great game plan, and he executed it. And the guys talked about it. They didn't change anything. I was upset at first, right? The first drive, they kind of just said, hey, Jayden is the same guy. We're going to throw the ball, and he started 0 for 3. And then they stuck with the game plan, and he got more comfortable, and he started hitting open receivers, and his receivers made plays for him on the ball that was huge in the victory on Sunday. And so I do have a decent amount of confidence in Marcus Mariota right now.
Yeah, this would be a tough test against the Bears defense. It's been really good this season, and certainly the numbers speak for themselves. They've gotten better every week as well. What I love is Marcus Mariota kept the pace. He's playing well. He threw it well, certainly. I'll give him that. But he was playing with the pace, and that's what Cliff Kingsbury's done this season that's really flummoxed opposing defenses. He's got that pace. He pushes it. He gets him downfield. He gets him to the line, gets him in the no huddle. If Mariota can keep doing that, that's going to help him more than any amount of mobility could.
I also think with the way Brian Robinson, Austin Eckler, Jeremy McNichols, and the offensive line are playing right now in the trenches, right, establishing the ground and pound game early, going back doing it late, we have a chance to win every single week when you're able to run like that. When you're turning 1st and 10 into 2nd and 5, it opens up the entire playbook for Cliff Kingsbury. And you saw his creativity on full display again.
Absolutely. He's dialing up week after week. It's just so fun to watch. You're excited to get to the tape, see what he figured out how to do this week, see how he confused a defense this week. I love watching all of it. It's so fun to see the different ways they can attack, the different styles. McNichols averaged 6 yards a carry. Obviously, if you're talking about the rushing game taking a heavier load this week, I think they will if Jayden plays. You don't just need Brian Robinson. You need the other two as well. You need Eckler and you need McNichols. Those guys are both going to play key roles as well. But going back to Mariota, if they have to play Marcus Mariota, I mean, obviously you lose a lot not having Jayden. That 46-yard run set the tone for the day, but I think you still have a lot of the veteran, processing ability that Cliff Kingsbury needs.
Yeah, and the way Cliff is scheming up games right now, it's so impressive. He's showing things early on and changing them later in the game. For example, Ben Sennett multiple times ran in motion, and they just handed it off. Then on Sunday, he ran in motion. He was wide open for his first catch, his first target, his first touchdown of his career.
Yeah, big waste to use that against Carolina, but I liked it, right? This is going to be a tougher game, a more competitive game. Chicago's really good, and they're coming off the bye week. We know NFL teams are even better off the bye week. That's the bummer of the injury to me. This is a fun game. Caleb Williams at his best, Jayden Daniels at his best, man. There's a reason this got flexed to national TV. They're both playing at a high level right now. Even if Jayden plays, it takes a little of the air out of the balloon, which is fine long term, but a bummer for Sunday.
I'm going to go over to the defensive side of the ball right now. And Michael, they are playing better. They have improved. They're playing more violent, as Joe Wood Jr. Would like to say. They're hitting at the point of attack, it feels like. They were really good at stopping Chuba Hubbard on 1st and 2nd down. That led to Andy Dalton throwing to not open wide receivers and having 2 costly turnovers. What have you seen about the defense's development this season?
Yeah, and the linebackers are carrying the load, which we haven't seen here in at least 4 years, probably a lot longer than that.
Yeah.
Maybe even all the way back to London Fletcher. I can't name another impact player who they've had at that position since then off the top of my head. Dante Fowler, who's the backup, is playing really well. He's had 2 great games in a row. When you do that, it allows you to do more things. They're more comfortable going to 3 linebackers, which helps everybody else out. We saw a lot of Johnny Newton. That was great to see his snap count go up. He's only going to get better and better. We watched that kind of rookie ladder these guys are climbing. Sinnott getting the touchdown. San Ristel obviously playing really well. It's time to get Johnny Newton on that ladder too, get him climbing up to where he can be a reliable every down presence.
St. Juice had the bad game a few weeks ago. All right, but you do feel like they're not solid, but they feel confident in their 3 corners with Noah, with Mike Sainristil, and Benjamin St. Juice. Now, they're getting more comfortable in their positions.
Yeah, and this would be a big test for them against Chicago. Caleb Williams, he's a great player. He's really come into his own over the last couple of weeks. What's funny is a lot of what he's done is taken out of the Jayden Daniels playbook. I think they watched some Commanders film, saw the success Jayden was having with the pace, with the tempo, and really stole a lot of that in Chicago. So it's going to be similar to the Ravens game, a pair of teams that like to play a similar style, similar kind of football going against each other. It'd be fascinating to see how Washington's defense comes around on that, because they're going to have to be ready for staying on the field for 5, 6, 7 plays in a row. That's going to test these young corners, right? You show something on a route, he's going to be ready to get it on the next one. That's going to be a key to this game.
Do you think Washington will have a home field advantage now? They're undefeated at home. It does feel like every week more and more Commanders fans are making that trek to formerly known as FedEx Field, now Northwest Stadium. It's still a dump, but at least you're watching a winning team play football there.
It's our dump. It may be a dump, but it's our dump. Nobody comes into our dump and pushes us around, except maybe the Steelers. All the Steelers fans show everywhere, right? That's just the reality. When they play the Steelers in a couple of weeks, there's going to be a lot of terrible towels there, because there always have been, even dating back to RFK. The Steelers fans found their way in. They're a persistent group. I think against the Bears, absolutely. You'll see some Bears fans, but I think it's more about the noise the Commanders fans are making. They're not just there to go watch the play and keep their hands on their lap. They're making noise. They're getting loud. I think that's been what's been fun, is not just having the fans, but having them make noise and get loud.
You have your biggest win in a long time, a blowout victory over the Carolina Panthers. You have the most margin of victory of any team in the NFL this season. And yet it doesn't feel like there's as much momentum because of the fact that Jayden Daniels is questionable right now.
Yes.
Like, I think that if he had played the entire game, the way you played against Carolina, you'd have so much momentum coming into this game. The line would very much be in Washington's favor. Because of Jayden's uncertainty, it favors the Bears right now.
Yeah, I completely agree with all of that, that this was going to be a real top 5 NFL quarterback showdown just based on how they're playing right now. Unfortunately, even if Jayden's healthy, I don't think you're going to get that. I think Dan Quinn is not going to mortgage the future to beat the Chicago Bears in Week 8. He's not going to do it. I trust him to make the right decision. I trust him to keep his quarterback out of trouble. There will come a time where you got to play through it to win a Super Bowl, to make the playoffs, to do it. This is not that moment. This is not that time, and I think DQ understands that.
The defense has improved, but Chicago's a very good offense. What's it going to take if Marcus Mariota starts here? How many points does Cliff Kingsbury and the offense need to score for Washington to get a win?
Well, judging by past weeks, he's able to score 40, so this will be different, of course, but even against the Ravens, they adjusted quickly. They found a way to score. I think if you get to 28, you're in a good spot here. One of the things is the defense hasn't collapsed on itself. Even in that Baltimore game, they made some nice plays. Derrick Henry wore him down. He's going to do that to a lot of teams, by the way. You've seen Derrick Henry have success in a lot of venues against a lot of teams. This is a defense that hasn't collapsed, since those early games. If they can just be average, the offense can lift them.
And really, the defense has started hot 3 games in a row. They got stops against the Browns. They got the turnover against the Ravens. They got the stops against the Panthers and the turnover return for a touchdown there. The defense has been starting faster. The offense needs a good start on Sunday, whether it's Jayden or Marcus Mariota.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a couple weeks now. I think every week I come in and say they really need to start faster, and then they win anyway. The defense gave them the fast start this week. It was 7-0 before the offense touched the ball. That was awesome. That's what you need. That's how teams win games. Against bad teams, you jump on them early, you keep them out of it. I think this will be a far more competitive game for sure.
If Jayden's healthy the rest of the season, do you hold him out Sunday?
If Jayden's healthy, if you could guarantee the rest of the season, oh yeah, that's a no-brainer, right? I think they'll be very cautious with him. I think probably there's a little gamesmanship in delaying the decision as long as you can too. I think that they understand the most important games Eagles, Cowboys, and Giants, too. That's also a divisional game, are ahead of them. There's no reason to do anything crazy this weekend.
I think it comes down to, can this bruised rib turn into a fractured rib if they don't let it heal and he takes hits on Sunday? If that's not the case, he's going to end up playing Sunday, playing through the pain.
He wants to. He wants to. He's a competitor. He understands what this moment means, number one against number two in a game against the Bears. I trust the coaching staff to do the right thing here.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to have to be an adult in the room, as you like to say.
Well, it's been a long time since there's been an adult in the room. I think we finally have a couple adults in the room, not just in Dan Quinn, but also in Adam Peters, who hopefully will explain to everybody, hey, this isn't my roster, right? These are some of my guys. This isn't an Adam Peters roster yet. But this offseason, with the success Jayden's having, if I can get him healthy into the offseason, I'm going to go around the free agent circuit and say, hey, want to come play with Jayden Daniels on the hottest team in football right now? Fastest growing team. We got a ton of salary cap space. I can sell that. What I can't sell is I hope Jayden plays week one. He's hurt, and we don't know if he's ever going to be the same again. He's got to protect Jayden at all costs because that's how you sell the lineup and the roster that you want for future years.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned Dante Fowler Jr. He came to play for Dan Quinn. Is having a great season. Now you have another offseason. People are going to want to play for Quinn, for Adam Peters, and you're right. They're going to want to be on the outside as a playmaker for Jayden Daniels.
You can get him the ball. He can throw it deep, right? And get that guy some weapons. Don't mortgage the future now. I said that every time one of these guys comes on the market. Don't mortgage the future now because the future is even brighter than the present.
That's Michael Phillips, MP on the mic Monday through Friday from 10 to 12 noon. I'm AWOD on The Fan.